Enter.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Lake Macquarie, round one of the 2024-2025 Australian Offshore Superboat Championships. Race 3 coming up now, and our final race for the day, and it is indeed our Super Sports classes, our 85 mile an hour and 65 mile an hour category boats. It's our last race of the day, and it looks as if the start boat has just picked them up. The white flag is flying, and they're commencing their parade lap for this race. We had a few incidents last race, a lot of breakouts from the 65 mile an hour category. We had Mark the Russian and Mel Nelson in the Coodercraft Special Edition with some engine dramas. I've confirmed they are fueling dramas. They lost some fuel in one way or another, so they're working hard back in the pits now, and they can hopefully get the boat back out on the water for tomorrow's racing. We had obviously the rollover from, or the ejection from the Coodercraft Villain, Team Villain. They're both here, both Danny and Dean Cayley. They're, Dean's actually in race control now, and Danny's out the front watching the race, so good to confirm that they're both okay, and they're here to enjoy today's racing. Will you be back out on the water tomorrow? Thumbs up for tomorrow. I think they've just got to have a rest period after an incident. So that's what they're doing now, and they're watching. So good to have them on the shore at least. So the parade lap has commenced. Steve Carter with the 21-foot ring flying the white flag. RS Motorsport, Ryan Shannon, Scott Kelly, C52, Hayden Wachewski coming through. The Colonel Racing, Mick Kelly and Jason Kelly. Water Sports Marine Racing, Anthony McAnally and Darren Tickell. And here are our 65 mile an hour boats. If this is their pole form, we've got the Nutcase. We've got All Coast Marine. We've got Hun 74 and we've got PFM Revolutions. That's your pole order, I suspect, for our 65 mile an hour race. So, again, all races, these drivers get to have a parade lap, because even from an hour ago to where we are now, the conditions have changed for these sports category drivers. The wind's picked up. You can see there's just a touch more chop out on the water, so gives them a chance to become familiar again with the circuit. So a few boats down for this race. Obviously the Villain guys, they got to have the rest of the day off after having an incident. And the Coodercraft Special Edition, Mark the Russian and Mel Nelson are out of action for today, and hopefully not tomorrow. Sun's out, it's a beautiful day here at Lake Macquarie, and I'm excited to have our third and final race here, our Super Sport 65 and 85 mile an hour boats. Always good racing in this category. Good to see that the fans are still out. The fans are out in force and they're loving the action as much as I am. It was good to hear from Jay earlier in our Super Cat races. Good to have an insight on the sort of people that go in to make this racing happening. Speaking of, Lake Macquarie Council and Empire Marina, they've put in a hell of a lot of effort to make this happen, along with Action Property Maintenance and Hornet Property Services, making these sort of events happen. And we've got Anthony Defina from the Mantis down below. Do you want to come up and say good day, Anthony? I think he does. So, just through this door here, it opens. Just pull the thing out. Yep, there we go. It's just magnets. Oh, we got Paul Folds coming up as well. Oh, he's shutting it. Okay, good. It's going to get too hectic. Mr. Anthony Defina, welcome to the commentary box. Well done on race one of the weekend.
G'day Ben, thank you for that. Yeah, it was a great race out there today, beautiful conditions, and our boat went well. We raced pretty hard against the new Sting boat, which looks like an absolute rocket, but it was great to be able to start off the season the way we finished up last season.
Yeah, 100%, mate. The boat looked awesome. It sat nicely on the water and it was good to watch. Have you put in any changes over the off-season or just straight back into it?
No, we had the first probably 6 to 8 months we had a fair bit of development on the boat, but it's been pretty steady the last 12 months, so not too much done. Always little tweaks, because if you're doing nothing, someone's going to catch up to you. But it was a great weekend. You might want to, I think we're about to get into a start. It looks like the boats are coming around on the Warners Bay side under the control of the start boat. Here they go, the 85 boats lining up over on Warners Bay, and they'll be hitting that start gate in about 15 seconds, I reckon.
I would agree, good spot. I would have kept talking and completely missed it. So thank you for that. We have got the start boat approaching our orange marker buoys here, which is our start gate. And it's going to be the Colonel, Mick and Jason Kelly in pole 1, Ryan Shannon, Scott Kelly of RS Motorsport in pole 2, and Hayden Wachewski of C52 in pole 3. And pole 4, so that rounds out the 85 mile an hour as they're about to come through the orange buoys. The flag is up and they're coming through now, and the flag has dropped, and we are racing here at Lake Macquarie. Water Sports Marine, along as the Colonel too. They are leaving Ryan Shannon, Scott Kelly behind us. The Colonel got the inside line and a good start. They've got the whole shot pace coming into turn number 1. What a start. Here we go. 65 mile an hour category boats are away, and it's the Nutcase just a nose ahead of, I'm going to say, PFM Revolutions. We've got All Coast Marine sitting in 3rd, and Greg Walters of Hun 74 in 4th. I'm going to say it's hard to see with a bit of watch coming off those boats. Anthony, what do you reckon at the start?
Yeah, great. And what I love about this class is there's such a variety of boats. You've got some dedicated race boats. You've got a genuine 24-foot skater, which is the Colonel, which is coming through now. And that's probably one of the most recognised boats racing in Australia, been around a long, long time. You've then got Ryan Shan in the 26, 27-foot Shifty Cat. That boat was built up on the Gold Coast by Paul Gibbs. Went over to New Zealand had a good race history here. Went over to New Zealand for a little while, and then Ryan Shan's brought it back here racing in Australia. And then you've got Hayden Wachewski in the Argo Cat, which is a really unique boat. Very fast boats over in Sweden. They run with single engines, and he's got that here. You've got Water Sports Marine. We've got not Anthony McAnally. Who am I thinking of? Sorry, Anthony McAnally as well. So a really unique field of boats there. It's fantastic to see.
Yeah, correct. I touched on that earlier. That's the whole thing of these sports categories. It's a diverse class, and it brings a lot of sport. So a good start from the Colonel boys. They've really pulled out a solid lead over RS Motorsport, Ryan Shannon, under those guys. They did a great effort helping out in the last race when we had the incident with Team Villain. So that's the sort of sportsmanship that we love this sport has. He jumped in the boat and brought it back in for him and really helped out. So well done to those boys. And he obviously with Hornet Property Services contributes greatly to the sport. So we thank Mick for his efforts here. And they've got, I'm going to say 10 boat lengths over Ryan Shan and Scott Kelly in the RS Motorsport. Then it's back to Hayden Wachewski in C52. Looking back to our 65 mile an hour category, the racing's hot there. We've got Harry Backer and Shane Payton in the Razorcraft. A few boat lengths ahead of, I'm going to say, Greg Walters. It looks as if it's the Haynes Hunter, Hun 74, just in 2nd place. And then it's All Coast Marine, by the looks of things, in position 3. The great thing about these boats here, take for example the Razorcraft that's out here at the moment. That's the exact same hull that anyone can go and buy from Harry and get made up. And he's out here putting his product to work in the hardest of fields, really, racing offshore, to better his product and to so the customers have a better experience and all up a better product of boat. 85 mile an hour is coming into the bottom end of the course. We've got the Colonel, the genuine 24-foot skater catamaran. Last season's 85 mile an hour champions. A strong force to be reckoned with, experienced drivers and a proven racecraft. Ryan Scott Kelly getting done in the shift he mentioned, built by Paul Gibbs up on the Gold Coast, another legend of our sport, and great boats that he's built, competitive in a range of classes. I believe the new Sting has some shifty hull to it, doesn't it?
Just before I get to that, look, there goes the Colonel through, looking absolutely beautiful. So they had a really tight race, the first race with Mark the Russian in the Cuda craft, but Mark led for 95% of the race and then had some sort of an engine failure, but his boat looked absolutely fantastic. So, and not far behind the Colonel is RS Motorsport, Ryan Shan and Scott Kelly. So yeah, the boat race against, that's also built up Gold Coast out of Paul Gibbs's factory. Very, very fast boat. We had our work cut out for it today, so but very fast boat, and they're only going to get faster and faster. So once again, great to see some boats in our class. It's a great class, an affordable, sort of affordable class. We're lucky we have a great sponsor, Dave Pittman Trucks, who helps us out. But it's look, overall we're certainly growing the series and seeing all these extra boats. And the Sting, they have high hopes for that boat and some big plans in the future, which I'm sure they'll reveal.
Yeah, correct. And I mentioned the setup that the Sting have is also world class. Check their setup down at the pits and at the street parade. They built up a fresh mini moke, which I reckon rivals the 222's mini moke. So I hope to see them out in action today. But for now, we've got our 65-mile-an-hour boats, and it's Greg Walters, Hun 74, taking the lead over Harry Backer in the nutcase. Back to All Coast Marine, Aaron Jackson. I can't believe that.
I think Aaron Jackson actually has his stereo going. I can hear the doof as he goes past. So, but Greg Walters in Hun 74, what a great competitor he is, a real character and a great part of the series. He drew pole yesterday for the first race today, and now he's in the lead in front of Harry. So well done the Hun, great to see.
Yeah, correct. And Harry Backer and Shane Payton are a proven recipe in this class. They've won many races together. The boat's fast, and for Greg to be sitting up in front of them, he'd be stoked in the cockpit of that boat, and hopefully he hasn't broken out. He does have a bit of a record for a bit of a heavy foot, but hopefully he can keep it within that 65-mile-an-hour limit. We're approaching 20 minutes to go in this race as the drivers start to settle into their race and the field spreads out just a little bit. We can see the 5-mile-an-hour boats coming through, and it's the Colonel just pulling away slightly from up really well. Had some gearbox dramas testing yesterday. I saw them changing a gearbox over yesterday, Arvo, and they've got that boat back out on the water and running good. So I did speak to Mel from Crudercraft, and apparently it was a lack of fuel. They ran out of fuel pressure, fuel. So they're in there checking the fuel filters, checking the lines, making sure there's nothing simple that they can fix to get the boat back out tomorrow. But yeah, it didn't sound good throughout the race, and obviously ground to a halt pretty quickly before the incident.
Does lack of fuel mean they ran out of fuel? So here you go, the Colonel coming through again, and RS Motorsport as well. And really, there's absolutely nothing between those boats. In this form of racing, it's half a second a lap difference, and that'll give you, a 10-second lead at the end of the race. So it's you're talking, tenths of a second per lap. So really nothing at all between these guys, and great to see RS Motorsport right up there. They've spent a lot of time. Ryan's really dedicated to the sport, and he spent a lot of time and money getting that boat going. And great to see it come over to New Zealand and back into the Australian series. So very, very close racing at that top end. So the 65 guys must be coming around soon. And if Greg Walters is not again, no, good on him. He's a great competitor, Greg. We love him. We love to see him, and we love to see him doing well. Here comes Hayden Wazeski again. Now Hayden's back into this boat. Last time Hayden raced this boat was at Geelong at the start of the year. He did have an incident. So it takes a bit to get back into a boat and get your confidence up and get your boat going again. So well done, Hayden. That's an absolutely supreme effort. And there's Anthony McAnally, Water Sports Marine, also going past, looking fantastic.
Yeah, correct. It takes a bit to get the confidence back, and he's doing a good job. He's out there, he's getting it done, and the boat's slowly just looking better and better. Ryan Shan, Anthony's 100% correct. There's not much between those two boats, and Ryan's done really a great job. He started in 65 mile an hour racing at Coodercraft. Then he got Velocity, and now he's in the Shifty Cat. So he's just going from strength to strength, and he's in a really competitive boat now. And him and Scott are a good partnership, and they're getting the job done for sure. They're competitive, and they're only going to get faster as they start to learn the boat and really become familiar with it. 65 mile an hour category boats here, and it is Greg Walters, the 174. He's got a massive lead. What a lap from him. I'm just going to look at my lap times over here because I'm interested to see the pace he's running at. 5 seconds faster on the lap just gone, so he's really found some pace in that boat.
And also, All Coast Marine is not far away at all from Harry Backer in Razorcraft. So very, very close racing in 65, and that's what we expect to see in this class. Boats all very competitive. You can only do 65 miles an hour. So it's all about setup, corner speed, trim, ballast and weight and setup on the boat. So well done Greg Walters and the other guys in this class. Great racing.
Yeah, correct. Aaron Jackson had a flying lap there. He's made up a bit of ground, and 100%, that's Anthony's correct there. It's you're speed limited, so it's really how fast you can get to that speed and how consistently you can do that speed. To really make a distance on in this category. And Greg Walters seems to have got that setup dialed. He'll be grinning ear to ear in first position. Here come the Colonel boys. Beautiful 24-foot skater cat. They've got that boat sitting lovely. So do Ryan Chan and Scott Kelly. They're sitting nice. They're running good through the water. As the conditions have changed over the last hour and a half, it's definitely picked up the wind. There's a touch more chop. That first race was like glass, and there's a bit more going on with the water now. So it keeps things interesting. We see Hayden Wazewski coming through the dog leg back there. He's doing a good job getting the job done. He'll pick up third, provided that he finishes the race. And I feel bad for saying that, because when I said that with Mark last race, and the minute I said it, he ground to a halt. So the commentator's curse is very true, unfortunately. We're approaching, we're at 18 minutes to go in this race. So half an hour race as always, and it is it's a good race. It's still close, and looks like we've got Water Sports Marine slowing up into turn number 1, or on the exit of turn number 1. It looks as if they're slowing down.
And there goes Hayden again. I must say the boat's looking better and better every race in that Argo Cat. They are a very, very fast boat in Europe. They do over 100 miles an hour. So looks like he's got his trim set a bit better than before. As the wind's picked up, it was lifting the nose of the boat a bit, in my opinion, when I looked him running past here, and he's sort of got that trimmed in a bit now, and the boat's looking really nice. I might leave you, Ben. I'm going to go and check on our boat and get ready for our street parade, which is happening in a few hours' time, where we're going to leave here and set up over at Warners Bay. So that's going to be a great opportunity for everyone here at Lake Macquarie to get up close and personal with the drivers and the boats. We'll all be over there talking to people if they want to know anything about how these boats work, how fast they go, anything at all. We'll be over at Warners Bay in the main area there for about an hour between 5:30 and 6:30 this evening.
Excellent. Thank you for joining me. Up in the commentary box, Mr. Anthony Defina from the Mantis. Always good to have another person to talk to up here. Here we go. We've got our 85 mile an hour category boats coming up on the 65s here. We've got the Colonel. They're coming up on PFM. They look as if they're struggling a little bit. The boat is hopping and porpoising and bouncing along that back a little bit. Maybe they haven't quite got it set up to right in these slightly choppier conditions, but it's handling it looks like it's a completely different boat compared to the first race. Here's Greg Walter. He's doing a ripping job. Excellent looking bloke, excellent boat, sorry, and he is an excellent bloke. He's one of the funniest guys in the pits, and it's good to see him doing well. Harry Backer and Shane Payton, they're still up in the race, and Aaron Jackson from All Coast Marine, he's got that thing absolutely singing. He's picking up ground on Harry Backer and Shane Payton. Excellent racing in the 65 mile an hour category today. Here comes PFM Revolution. You see bouncing through the wash of these boats, Ryan Chan and Scott Kelly in the RS Racing Shifty Cat. They're getting the job done well. They're just holding on to the back of the Colonel, not letting them get too comfortable inside that boat. So well done to them. Let's have a look at our times. We've got the Colonel. Last lap was a 3:13. RS Motorsport was a 3:13 as well. So very similar pace from these two boats. And they're similar size, and they're both cats, but you know, still very different. But they're pumping out really good pace together. They're a good lap. That's not far off what our 600 horsepowers were doing. So not bad at all. They're holding good speed throughout the track. Hayden Waszewski sitting at mid 320s, so he's got some good pace, a few seconds back. But as Anthony mentioned, back in the boat after a bit of an incident in Geelong. It went over. But landed back the right way up, and yeah, he's doing a good job. Speaking of incidents, Dean Cayley's just looking at me, so he's the incident master, it seems. So well done to him, but good to see he's okay, of course. Are you missing being out there? Yeah, mate. Yep, I thought so. Hayden Waszewski, here he comes. Sitting nicely, getting that trimmed better and better each lap, 100%. Hear that 300R barking as it goes along. Now we've got a bit of quiet whilst we're all the boats are on the other side of the course right now. Yeah, so Warners Bay, sort of the main area there is where we're going to set up. We're going to have the race control truck leading the convoy, and then we're going to have the two big boats, the two semi-trailers with the big boats on them following. And then it's going to be the rest of the boats behind there, and we'll set up in that Warners Bay area. Pop in, grab some food from the restaurants, say good day to all you guys. You guys can come check out all the boats, all the trucks, whatever you want to look at. And it'll be an awesome time for us to meet some of the fans, and for you guys to meet some of the drivers. So if you can, get on down. It'll be really exciting. And we'll put on a good display. Hopefully all the guys go and give their boats a little hose off, get them looking schmick. As here we go, the 85 mile an hour category boats are coming back into the bottom end of the course. We've got the Colonel, I believe, coming through, followed closely by Ryan Shan and Scott Kelly. So good job from those boys getting the job done. It is indeed the Colonel coming into my view now. Mick and Jason Kelly. And I can just see from up here the way that Mick's working that wheel. It's pretty impressive as he's coming down. They've got that boat sitting up beautifully. Ryan Chan and Scott Kelly in an enclosed cockpit boat. So now, as this category starts to really take off, we see more and more of these thoroughbred race boats coming into the class. We've got these reinforced cockpit boats. Really impressive offshore race boats in these categories now. Greg Walters still up in position 1, followed closely by Harry Backer and Shane Payne. They're not letting him getting away. I'm interested to see the GPS speeds here. Aaron Jackson doing a good job in the cruise craft bow rider. He's getting the job done. He's not letting the Razorcraft boys get away from him. Holding on to a good fight there. He's putting in good lap times. Let's have a look. What do we got here? A 4:04 compared to a 4:03. I mean, we're splitting hairs here. There's nothing in it. PFM Revolution. The boys, Matthew Simpson and Kai Lee, they're getting the job done well. They broke out. I was speaking to them after their race, their first race. They went 1.3 mile an hour over the 65 mile an hour limit. So that calls for a disqualification for those boys, which is why they started on the pole 5 or pole 4, and they just haven't quite maximised this race. maybe conditions haven't suited with the wind picking up. Colonel Racing coming into the bottom end of the course, picking up another lap. What a reliable but fast package these guys bring to the table. Mick Kelly and Jason Kelly, absolute veterans of the sport. The whole Kelly family. Half the field is a Kelly, it seems, and they're really just the best in the business. They get the job done, and the Colonel is no exception. Ryan Shan and Scott Kelly, they're doing a good job. As Anthony touched on, that's a Shifty Cat built by Paul Gibbs, one of the sport's greats up on the Gold Coast. And it had a stint over in New Zealand. It's quite a successful boat over in New Zealand. And Ryan Shan has brought it back over, restored it, had a lot of glassing work done to it. A good portion of the front of that boat was the fiberglass was not in good condition, and he's put in some fresh fiberglassing work there. The cockpit's been freshly reinforced and repainted, and new seats, new everything in there. So he's done a great job to get that boat restored and back here in Australia, and it looks good. It's a nicely fitted boat. The finish on the paint that Razorcraft did. The boat went to Razorcraft actually for the glassing work, and it's been painted by Harry at Razorcraft, and it's come up really nice. It shows you the standard of work that Harry and the team have down at Razorcraft, because the boat's immaculate now. So they're doing well. It's their second season. They had all of last season as well, just to really get the boat up to speed, and now they're there and they're going to be racing hard for the championship this year. We go down to Melbourne, Wyndham Harbour and Geelong for our next two rounds. So a home race for those guys, so they're going to be out in force. As Greg Walters comes across the front straightaway here, still got a solid lead over Harry Backer and Shane Payton in the nutcase. Aaron Jackson, he's just lurking there. He's also in it, like, yeah. Next lap, it could be a completely different set of positions here. He's right on the money, right on the tail of Harry Backer and Shane Payton in the nutcase, so he's doing a great job in his boat. A good shot on the GP Hydro live stream here of looking down the tunnel of Hayden Wieseski's boat there. As I mentioned earlier in our Supercat race, it's fascinating to watch how these cats, these tunneled boats, handle, how they work, how the air goes down and creates a lift on those. And that shot there that you guys would have seen at home watching really displays that. And I think we can get the same shot on Ryan Shan there. You can just see the way that it's lifting itself up out of that corner, and it's really starting to sit just on the back of the hull. It's a really impressive thing to watch. As we're coming up to 7 minutes to go mark of this race, sort of the final stages of the race. It's going to be Colonel coming down onto the front straightaway here, still in a healthy lead. But never count out RS Motorsport. They're a strong team. The wind's really starting to pick up here, even from the beginning of the race to now. It's there's some clouds off in the distance and a bit of wind pushing through, so it's changing the conditions. That's the beauty of boat racing, is the conditions are constantly changing. You know, no wave's ever in the same spot as it was the lap before, and these drivers really have to be on their game to be fast. And the Colonel boys are just an example of that. They're the best in the business. And that boat's just flying over the water. Look how good it's sitting. The nose is up, it's happy, it's looking good. They've made an overtake on Hayden Wazewski, and RS Motorsport's looking to do the same thing. Grab a lap on them. So those guys are really fast, but Hayden nonetheless is doing a good job. He's a great bloke, Hayden, with, of course, with Action Property Maintenance. He supplies, him and his business supply our trophies. He does all the metal and woodwork for the trophies that our competitors get. So a massive thank you to Hayden and Action Property Maintenance for bringing that support to the table and making what we do possible. Same for Hornet Property Services and Mick Kelly. They have a massive contribution and a massive for the category and for the Colonel itself. They've put it on a really good-looking new trailer, a lot of things like that, and he's a ripper bloke, really genuine guys, the Kelly boys. So well done to them. We're looking to the 65 mile an hour. It's coming through that dogleg turn along the back there. And it's Aaron Jackson making ground on Harry Backer and Shane Payton. He's really got that boat dialed in and he's running fast. Good to see. He's a ripper blow. Oh, as he jumps right up and out of the water. That was a big jump from Aaron Jackson. It's going to be Greg Walter coming out of the final turn there down at the bottom in position 1, as he has 4 minutes to go, four and a bit minutes to go in this race. And we're looking on the live stream, PFM Revolution just bouncing their way along the back straightaway there. Just look as if they're struggling to get that thing settled. Here comes Greg Walter. He's sitting in position 1, and the racing is on here in the 65 mile an hour category. Harry Backer's not letting it up, and Aaron Jackson from All Coast Marine is still gaining time. He's jumping up and about on the back straightaway there, and he's gaining time, so good on him. Good racing. As I look off in the distance, I can see Matt Hall doing a little bit of an air display, and for you guys that are here and on the live stream, he's going to come over at the completion of this race and do a little bit of an air display. He's a ripping bloke. I've met him a couple of times. He's a really nice guy and he's really good at what he does. So if you've got the time, stick around for his air display because it's really impressive. Here comes PFM Revolution. Getting the job done. Colonel Racing, they're back. Got it sitting absolutely perfect. They've done a lot of work to that over the last couple years. I remember, back a couple years, the thing, it porpoised and bounced around like nothing else, and they've put in so much work, and the thing sits so nicely. And that work shows with their results, with the pace that they have out on the racetrack from where they were a couple of years ago, just fighting those battles. It didn't like sitting at that 85 mile an hour range, and they've got it dialed in, and boy, it's running good. 2 minutes 51 to go now, so this will be the final lap of the race. Colonel is our lead boat, and they're just coming up on PFM Revolution just to put a lap on the 65 mile an hour boats. And they're running 3 minute odd laps with 2 minutes to go. The checkered flag will come out at the completion of this lap for the Colonel. We lost a couple laps ago, Water Sport Marine Racing of I didn't mention it, of Anthony McAnally and Darren Tickell. I don't know what happened to the boat, but they pulled into the infield and out of the race. Now, unfortunately for them, hopefully whatever it is, they can get back up and going for tomorrow's racing. 1 and a bit minutes to go now, and we can see the Colonel just coming along that back straightaway. 65 mile an hour boats coming down towards the bottom of the course now. And I reckon it's 3 wide coming into the dog leg. in this right-hand turn is 3 wide. It looks as if it's Greg Walter on the inside with Harry Backer and Aaron Jackson just behind, but it's very close racing coming into this final laps of the race for the 65-mile-an-hour boat as Harry Backer and Shane Payton launch out of the water. Aaron Jackson's jumping around. It's all going on in the 65-mile-an-hour category. This water, these Razorcraft and the All Coast start to come into their element a little bit more in this water. Greg Walter looks as if he's got his hands full with the Haynes Hunter, Hun 74, as both Harry and Aaron look to be gaining a good amount of ground. We're going to see they're coming through the bottom part of the course now, and I just can't get a glimpse of them, but they're going to come up onto my front straightaway here, and we're going to have a good glimpse at what's going on as our Colonel is rounding the bottom turn. And I tell you what, they might have put in a fast lap, and it's going to be line ball whether they go on for another lap or not. But here we go, 65-mile-an-hour boat. Hun 74, Greg Walters. Oh, it's close, guys. Harry Backer and Shane Payton is closing the gap. They look as if they're going to get an overtake done along this front straightaway here. Aaron Jackson from All Coast Marines not giving it up. He's sitting just behind, waiting for anything to happen. We are on for another lap. The checkered flag is not out yet. The Colonel Racing, Mick and Jason Kelly just dancing along the legs of these other boats along the front straightaway, followed closely by Ryan Shannon, Scott Kelly and the RS Motorsport Triple Eight Shifty Catamaran, who's going to come out in front of turn number 1 in our 65-mile-an-hour category. Only time will tell, and I suspect it might be Harry Backer and Shane Payton from the Nutcase. They had a good run down the front straightaway, carrying a lot more speed than Greg Walter in Hun 74. As the wind really starts to pick up here. Here we go, they're just rounding this bottom turn now, and I just trying to pick up who's in front here. PFM Revolution getting the job done. Oh, and I tell you what, it looks as if Aaron Jackson's going around the outside. The Colonel have just passed through the lap traffic, so they've cleared the 65-mile-an-hour boats. It is Greg Walter still just in front, only by a boat length, and then maybe 2 boat lengths back to Aaron Jackson from All Coast Marine. It is heating up in this final lap of our 65-mile-an-hour class. So the Colonel will pick up the checkered flag this time through, and as the 65-mile-an-hour boats are just behind, they'll pick up the checkered flag at the end of this lap too. Ryan Shan from RS Motorsport is just going around the outside of the 65-mile-an-hour boats, just negotiating a bit of that lap traffic. And he's kept the Colonel boys honest. He hasn't let them run away at all. So well done to him and Scott Kelly from RS Motorsport. They've kept the Colonel boys very honest today. But the real battle is on in the 65-mile-an-hour category. It's still Greg Walter from Hun 74 with just a bit of a lead. But my boy Harry Backer and Shane Payton in the Razorcraft are poking their nose around the outside here. I can see on my live stream screen that they've just look as if they've got the nose ahead. They are on the outside, so they've got a little bit more distance to cover, but it's absolutely side-by-side racing in the 65-mile-an-hour class. Aaron Jackson from All Coast Marines in a good position here. He's just lurking. He's waiting for them to get close and make each other lose speed, and he's going to maximise on that, as it's 3 wide coming down that front straightaway. Impressive racing. This is what the sports classes are all about. It's close racing, it's honest racing, and I absolutely love it. It's hard to see when they're coming straight at me who's in front, but they're going to turn side onto me, and I'm going to get a good view at this. So who have we got in front? It looks as if it's still Greg Walter by half a boat length in Hun 74. It's Harry Backer and Shane Payton from Razorcraft on the inside. However, the right-hand turn swaps that over, and they're now on the outside coming into the bottom-hand left-hand turn. Oh, All Coast Marine, a big fly, as they look as if they get a nose in front of the Razorcraft Nutcase. They've got half a boat length on them, and they've got the inside line, so they're going to have a good position coming out of the final turn. As we see the Colonel Racing, Mick and Jason Kelly picking up the checkered flag. Well done, boys. A stellar race from Colonel Racing. Ryan Shannon, Scott Kelly from RS Motorsport, they're going to pick up second place in the 85-mile-an-hour category. Well done, boys. Good racing between the two of you. But here it is. It's the 65-mile-an-hour boats that I'm extra interested in as they start to round the bottom turn here. They're going to come out onto this front straightaway here to pick up the checkered flag. Who's going to be in front? It's Greg Walter by a boat length or two. Then it's All Coast Marine, I'm going to say. Then a Razorcraft. It's going to be a photo finish, guys. It's going to be Greg Walter. Just then the Razorcraft, then Aaron Jackson from All Coast Marine. What a finish in the 65-mile-an-hour class. About a boat length between the three of them. That is excellent racing. Well done, guys. Of course, these are provisional results. We have to confirm from the GPS. Thank you, guys. Take care. GPS speeds to see if anyone has indeed broken out. But if everyone's been honest, then what a finish. And here comes Matt Hall. He's putting on an excellent air display for us right now. If you're still here, if you're on the live stream, Hayden Wachewski, C52, picking up third place in 85-mile-an-hour category. Well done, Hayden. Matt Hall is putting on the air display now. He's... ex-Air Force, Red Bull pilot, he's air raced, stunts, the whole lot. PFM Revolution, well done, boys. Matthew Simpson and Kai Lee, good race, good first day of the championship. So that is the end of our Super Sports 85 and 65-mile-an-hour race. And the ending of all racing today here at Lake Macquarie. Well done to all the competitors. And while we watch Matt Hall, I'm going to get our result sheet to confirm the speeds from our Super Sports boats. But for now, guys, at home, wherever you are, here, trackside, get into a bit of Matt Hall action because this is absolutely riveting. So you can see Matt Hall, the Red Bull pilot, I should say. You can see on the underside of his wings, the big Red Bull printed across there. Absolutely amazing the stuff this guy can do with his plane. He did the promo run on Thursday with Boost Mobile 222. I reckon they flew and drove about 30 foot apart from each other. It was absolutely wild. And he's back. He had a little squirt out this morning, and he's back now, putting on an excellent show. I absolutely love watching him do what he does. He's an absolute talent. It's really impressive. I don't even know how he does that stuff. It's absolutely bonkers. Give the boys coming across the front a little bit of a wave as they head back to the pits. Aaron Jackson from All Coast Marine, Harry Backer and Shane Payton in the Razorcraft. We got Greg Walter in the Hun 74. Give him a wave, give him a clap as they come back across the front. So, just heard from Race Control. For those of you that are still here on the live stream and on the shore, the Razorcraft, Harry Backer and Shane Payton are your winners in 65 mile an hour, with all other boats breaking out. And the 85 mile an hour category was as it finished. No breakouts in that category. So well done to all the competitors today. And that wraps up what I have to say about day one of round one of the Australian Offshore Superboat Championships. We'll be back again tomorrow at, I'll just confirm our timing for tomorrow. At 11 o'clock will be our first superboat race, and they'll have 2 races, and the sports boats will have 1 race. But for now, I'll leave you with Matt Hall and his display, and I'll catch you all tomorrow.